She thought her best friend had the perfect life, wealth, marriage, luxury, until envy pushed her to steal it. But the moment she stepped into her friend's shoes, she discovered a dark secret she could never escape. Today's story is about friendship, jealousy, and the kind of mistake that chains a woman to her own destruction. Before we go any further, can I ask you for a small favor? This story took me days to write, record, and edit. Every frame, every emotion, every sound. It costs you nothing to support me, but it truly means everything to me. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you have not, and comment your location below. I want to know where my amazing viewers are watching from. I read every comment, and I will be giving a shout out in my next video. Now back to the story. There are friendships that begin in childhood and feel like they'll last forever. Sandra and Anita were those kinds of friends. Born in the same dusty neighborhood, raised under the same blazing sun, they were inseparable. They shared everything: the last piece of bread, the same worn-out slippers, dreams whispered under moonlight. Sandra was the gentle one, soft-spoken, the kind of girl who could calm a storm with her smile. She dreamed of simple things: a small home, a faithful man, children's laughter filling the rooms. Anita was fire, bold, hungry. She wanted the mansion on the hill, the expensive cars, the jewelry that caught the light. She wanted to be worshipped. Despite their differences, they loved each other. Or at least, that's what Sandra believed. They made a promise: no matter what life brought, they would never let anything come between them. But promises, like glass, shatter when tested. Life took them down different paths. Sandra met Victor at a friend's wedding. Tall, well-dressed, confident. He had money. Real money. The kind that opened doors and silenced doubts. When he approached Sandra that evening, she couldn't believe it. A man like him? Choosing her? He courted her with gifts, flowers every week, messages that made her blush, dinners at restaurants she'd only seen from the outside. He told her she was beautiful, special, deserving of the world. And Sandra, sweet, trusting Sandra, believed him. Anita was happy for her friend. At first, she cheered. She planned the bridal shower. She danced at the wedding. But late at night, alone in her small room, something else stirred inside her. Why her and not me? The question became an obsession. She would stare at pictures of Sandra's wedding, the white gown, the golden decorations, and feel something ugly twist in her chest. Jealousy is like a seed. Once planted, it grows in the dark. Sandra moved into Victor's mansion. 6 bedrooms, marble floors, a fountain in the front yard. It was the kind of house Anita had dreamed about since she was a little girl. Anita visited often, too often. She would walk through the rooms slowly, touching everything, imagining herself living there. "You're so lucky," she would say to Sandra, smiling. But her eyes betrayed her. Sandra didn't notice. She was too busy trying to be the perfect wife. But something was wrong. Victor was changing. The gifts stopped. The sweet words disappeared. He became cold, distant, vicious. If dinner wasn't ready on time, he would slam his fist on the table. If Sandra wore the wrong dress, he would insult her in front of guests. If she asked where he'd been, he would grab her wrist and squeeze until she apologized. The man who once called her beautiful now called her worthless. Sandra said nothing. She smiled in public, played the role of the happy wife, because she was ashamed that the fairy tale had turned into a nightmare. If you've ever felt trapped by shame, let us know in the comments. Sometimes, sharing our pain is the first step to healing. The pattern was always the same. Victor would hit her, then days later bring a gift. A necklace, a handbag, an apology wrapped in luxury. "I'm sorry, baby. You know I love you, right?" And Sandra would nod. Forgive him. Convince herself it wouldn't happen again. But it always did. She started wearing long sleeves, heavy makeup, sunglasses indoors. She stopped going out, stopped answering calls, stopped being herself. Anita noticed the change, but she didn't see it as a warning. She saw it as ungratefulness. If I were in her place, I would appreciate it. I would make Victor happy. Envy had blinded her. She couldn't see the bruises hidden under Sandra's makeup. All she saw was the mansion, the cars, the status, and she wanted it. Anita began dressing differently when she visited. Tighter clothes, brighter lipstick. She would laugh louder when Victor was around, touch his arm when she spoke, compliment him excessively, but Victor barely looked at her. To him, she was just Sandra's annoying friend. That rejection made Anita desperate. One evening, after another failed attempt to get Victor's attention, Anita made a decision. She went to see the herbalist. The old woman lived on the edge of the village, in a hut surrounded by strange plants and animal bones. People whispered about her. Some called her a healer. Others called her a witch. Anita didn't care. She wanted what Sandra had. The herbalist listened with cold, unblinking eyes. "You want to take another woman's life?" "Not her life," Anita said quickly. The herbalist stared at her for a long time. "Child, you don't know what you're asking for. A marriage is not just what you see from the outside. There are things hidden in the shadows, things that will destroy you." But Anita didn't listen. "I don't care. I want it. Whatever it costs." The herbalist sighed, then prepared the charm, a pouch filled with herbs, roots, and something dark. She whispered ancient words over it. "Wear this. Victor will reject Sandra and call for you. You will take her place." The old woman's voice sharpened like a blade. "But remember, you will inherit everything, not just the luxury, everything." Anita didn't understand. She didn't ask. She just paid and left, her heart racing with excitement. If you believe in consequences, drop a comment and let us know what you think Anita should have done. Within 3 days, the charm worked. Victor came home one evening and looked at Sandra with disgust. "I'm tired of you. Pack your things and get out." Sandra's heart shattered. "Victor, please. What did I do?" "Get out." He didn't hit her this time. He didn't need to. His words were violence enough. Sandra, broken and trembling, packed a small bag and left. She ended up at a distant cousin's house, crying herself to sleep every night. And Victor? He called Anita. "Come over. I need you." Anita arrived that same night, dressed like a queen. Victor pulled her inside. "You're going to be my wife now." Anita's heart soared. She had won, or so she thought. For the first 3 days, it was everything Anita had imagined. She walked through the mansion like she owned it, slept in Sandra's bed, wore Sandra's jewelry. She felt powerful, victorious, chosen. But on the 4th day, everything changed. Victor came home late, smelling of alcohol. Anita greeted him with a smile. "Baby, I made your favorite." He slapped her. The sound echoed through the house. Anita stumbled backward, hand on her cheek, unable to process what had just happened. What did I do?" Victor didn't answer. He just walked past her. Anita stood there trembling, tears streaming down her face. This wasn't supposed to happen. He was supposed to love her, worship her, but he didn't. Because the charm didn't just give her Sandra's place, it gave her Sandra's suffering. The abuse was immediate and relentless. Victor hit her for burning the food, for talking too much, for breathing too loud. Anita tried to leave. She packed her bags one night and headed for the door, but her legs wouldn't move. Her body wouldn't obey. Invisible chains held her in place. The charm had bound her to Victor, spiritually, physically, eternally. She ran back to the herbalist, begging, sobbing. "Please, reverse it. I made a mistake." The old woman shook her head. "I warned you, child. The charm cannot be undone. You asked to take her place. This is your life now." Anita collapsed, screaming. Desperate, Anita searched for Sandra everywhere, asking neighbors, calling old friends, checking every corner of the city. Finally, she found her. Sandra was living in a tiny room, working 2 jobs. She looked thinner, tired. But there was something different about her. Peace. When Anita appeared at her door, Sandra's face went cold. "What do you want?" "I'm sorry," Anita sobbed. "I did something terrible. I took your place. I used a charm. Please, help me." I can't escape him. Sandra looked at her for a long time. I know. Anita's eyes widened. You know? The herbalist came to me. She told me everything. She said you made your choice. Please, forgive me. Help me. Sandra's voice was quiet but firm. I forgive you, Anita. But I can't help you. You wanted my life. Now you have it. She closed the door. Anita stood there, alone, crushed by the weight of her choices. If you believe forgiveness doesn't always mean rescue, type truth in the comments. The charm dragged Anita back to Victor like a chain around her neck. The abuse grew worse. Victor didn't just hit her anymore, he humiliated her. He threw a party one night and made Anita serve his friends like a maid. His guests whispered and laughed. Isn't that Sandra's friend, the one who was always jealous? Anita's face burned with shame, but she obeyed. She had no choice. She was a prisoner in the mansion she had envied, a slave to the man she had desired, a victim of her own jealousy. Years passed. Anita's beauty faded. Her spirit broke. Her body wore the scars of Victor's cruelty. She became a ghost in the mansion, quiet, hollow, defeated. Then one day, something happened that shattered everything Anita thought she knew. Sandra appeared at the mansion door. Not weak, not broken, but radiant. I need to tell you the truth, Sandra said, her voice steady. Before you destroy yourself completely. Anita stared at her, confused. What truth? Sandra stepped inside. Her eyes filled with something Anita couldn't read. Pity mixed with resolve. Victor was never my husband by choice, Anita. He was my punishment. What? 5 years before I met him, I did exactly what you did. I envied another woman, my cousin. She had everything I wanted. So I went to the same herbalist. I used the same charm. I took her place, married her husband, inherited her life. Anita's blood ran cold. That husband? Sandra continued. He died in a car accident 6 months later. The herbalist told me the curse would pass to whoever took my place next. The charm doesn't just bind you to one man, Anita. It's a cycle. A curse that passes from one envious woman to the next. No. Anita whispered. Victor isn't the curse. You are. Just like I was. The charm feeds on jealousy. It will keep destroying women until someone finally breaks the cycle. By refusing to envy what they don't have. Sandra turned to leave, then paused at the door. I tried to warn you with my silence. I prayed you wouldn't fall for it. But envy is louder than wisdom. She looked back one last time. I'm free now, Anita. The curse moved to you the moment you took my place, and it will only leave you when another envious woman comes for Victor. The door closed. Anita collapsed to the floor, understanding flooding through her like ice water. She wasn't just a victim. She was the trap, the bait, the next link in a chain of jealousy and suffering. And somewhere out there, another woman was watching Victor's mansion with envious eyes. Not everything that shines is success. Not every marriage is peace. Not every luxury is freedom. Anita learned this lesson too late. She envied what she saw from the outside, never knowing the horror that lived within. Jealousy doesn't build. It only destroys. And in the end, she inherited exactly what she asked for, not the fantasy, but the reality, the pain, the prison, the curse. If this story touched your heart, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment telling us, what would you have done if you were in her shoes? And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Because every story we share carries a lesson that could change your life. Remember, be careful what you envy. You never know what burden comes with the blessing. Thank you for watching. Until next time, choose gratitude over greed and peace over pretense.